What's Gucci, everybody? It's your girl, Nicole Banister, aka NIKKI BANZ, and you are back for this week's episode of NIKKI BANZ Live! Yes. Welcome, party people. Welcome one, welcome all. It's Tuesday, so you already know we are here for NIKKI BANZ Live. Every single Tuesday, we are here coming to you hot with the most exciting, interesting, and dynamic entertainers, entrepreneurs, actors, DJs, dancers, people who are representing different countries from around the world, bringing you that fire, bringing you that heat. And I am so incredibly excited that you all have tuned in with me here tonight for the one, the only, the international Cj Dumeni, party people. I am so incredibly excited to have this guest on tonight. It is going to be an absolute blast. So, let me just give a quick disclaimer, a quick PSA coming to you live from Cape Town, South Africa. As you all know, Halloween was over the weekend. Happy Halloween to all those who celebrated. And the South African government has decided that it's not done celebrating yet. So tonight, everybody, we are either going to have a trick or we're going to have a treat. Tonight, I have been informed that in the next 5 to 10 minutes, we might be having load shedding. So for those of you who don't know what load shedding is, basically everyone who doesn't live in South Africa, Namibia, Lesotho, Botswana, or anywhere in the Southern African, region, load shedding is when the South African government's supply of electricity does not meet the demand. So we might be having a power outage. But never fear, if the power goes out, I've got my phone hooked up to my laptop. I've got my ring light hooked up to my laptop. So hopefully this will carry us through for the whole hour. And if it doesn't, I got some candles set up here. I am ready. We gonna make this live happen. It's lit no matter what. It will literally be lit, whether it's the ring light or the light from the laptop or the candles. We gonna make it happen, okay? It's NIKKI BANZ. This is show business, baby. We live no matter what. So stick with me. Stick with me, please. If the power goes out, we're gonna, just keep our fingers crossed and make it work. All right, like I said, we've got Cj Dumeni here tonight. Cj hails from Windhoek, Namibia. He is a tech entrepreneur. He is a brand strategist. He is the co-founder and CEO of Chommie Bites, which is Namibia's first ever food delivery service via app. And we are so stoked to have this beautiful black techie coming on the show to meet you all and greet you all and chat with you. I know CJ is here. We're going to bring him on in just a moment. I see we got about 10 people hopped on the live. Welcome one, welcome all. You're here with NIKKI BANZ, me, myself, and I. And every Tuesday, I'm bringing you amazing interviews with even more incredible and amazing people from around the world. All right, everyone. Once again, we might be getting load shedding, but you know what? YOLO, let's see what happens. Let's make it work. It's Tuesday. The show must go on. All right, friends, I'm going to bring on the man of the hour now. Let's get excited. Let's welcome the one, the only Cj Dumeni, all the way from Namibia. I'm going to give us a little drum roll and bring him on now. Fingers crossed, fingers crossed.
Yo. What's up? How are you?
What's up? How you doing, CJ?
I'm doing very well. I like your dress. It looks amazing.
Thank you so much. I was so worried about the load shedding. I was like, let me wear the brightest thing possible so you can still see me in the dark.
So you can see when the lights go out, yeah.
That was literally the plan. That was literally the move.
Yeah. No, I'm excited. Thank you for having me. Buzzing. Like, your lives are amazing, so I'm keen to see what we can do. Sorry if there's a bit of an echo. I'm in the office still, so yeah.
Oh, okay. Look at you, tech entrepreneur, grinding all night long. It's 8 p.m. and still in the office.
You know the vibes.
Hey, we know the vibes. That's how you are as successful as you are, my guy. And I'm excited to chat all about it.
Thank you.
Yes. So how are you? How you living?
I'm good. Yeah, a lot's going on. Company's growing quite well. Obviously, during this time, we're trying to have a good festive season. So yeah, just excited to just grind it out,
Okay, I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. And yes, for those of you watching, from North America or from the Northern Hemisphere, festive season in the Southern Africa region is, December, January, February, because that's when it's summer for us here. So, if anyone's trying to visit South Africa, Namibia, this is the festive season. So that's why this man is trying to grind before the festive season comes so that we can go party.
Exactly.
Okay, so CJ, I always like to start each interview by just giving folks a little bit of background on how I know the guests who are on my show. Oh, sure. There we go. The power just went out. Oh my gosh, and you can still see me. Okay, this is
you're still good. Seems fine.
Yes, you can still see me. So now the question is going to be whether or not my computer dies. If that happens, then it is what it is. But let's
run with it. Let's see what happens. Let's see.
Let's try. Okay, so CJ, you are actually a guest who I actually don't personally know. You were a referral from one of my friends who's from Namibia. Shout out Helga. I think she's watching right now. So Helga was like, oh, I know this guy. He's a tech entrepreneur. You should have him on the show. She was like, yeah, you're trying to have people from every country. You want someone from Malawi, someone from Mozambique. She was like, you got to get Namibia on. I was like, all right, let's bring him on. So I just slid in the DMs and here you are.
No, I'm happy you did that. And I think, if we're in the same network, it feels like I know you already, like-minded people find like-minded people. So I don't think we're strangers anymore.
Yeah, I don't think so either. Exactly. Yeah. And one of the really cool things when I added you on Instagram was that we actually do have a lot of mutual friends and connections.
I saw that as well.
Yes, exactly. So that's super exciting. But we gonna get into all of that. So I was giving a little bit of an intro on who you are and what you do and about your life. But I read one of the interviews you had done previously that said you actually really like talking to people who don't know anything about you, people who are brand new. So I was like, all right, that could be me, that could be my followers, anyone tuning in here. So give it to us, CJ, in your own words. How do you describe yourself, your career?
Man, I'm just a young guy who tried to make something big of himself. I'm never really good at high school, never really good at studying or all that kind of generic stuff. But I think, I think I was just born with pure hustle and ambition, So I managed to sort of channel that into my career and start something that hasn't been started yet before. But besides my career itself, I'm just like a genuine, funny, pretty chill guy in Namibia that likes to travel and stuff like that. I'm generally just a regular guy. I just happen to focus my attention onto one thing, and I think it's been paying off.
Oh my gosh, I love it. I love it. I feel like, okay, there's so many things that we need to dive into because, you're just like, yeah, I'm a chill guy, I'm cool. But you have done so many things. Not only have you founded and served as the CEO of Chommie Bites, this amazing, food delivery service. You're also, a TEDx speaker. You are a casual international model. You are just like, it's just like so many things. You have like a music production agency. So talk to us about how you tell us a little bit more about the journey and about the come up. You mentioned a little bit about not being good in school. Tell us a little bit more about that and the journey to how you became as successful as you are.
Okay, so I think at early days of school and your life in general, right? The measurement of success is pretty much how good you are with studying and stuff like that. So I didn't excel in that. But what I did excel in was things that had to do with a lot of creativity. Things where you had to think of things on the spot and had to be able to shape a world or an existence or something new out of basically just the way you think about things, right? So very young, my best friend's actually one of the biggest rappers in Namibia, KP. He started recording in my house, and we formed a record label. We were one of those kids, formed a record label and stuff like that. Kept pushing that, and that's how Illis Music came about. And KP's done really, really well in Namibia. And these other artists like Script are also part of the label, and that's how the music side of things came about. But I think since high school, I was always just drawn towards business and creating things. I started a fashion company with a friend of mine who was in the States, Reggie. Then he came back and we sold fashion. We sold hoodies and stuff like that. for a minute. Then I went to university. Even while I was studying, I was always involved in some kind of hustle. I guess it's just the type of person that I was. And then finally, after working for some big companies, I also used to, I worked for L'Oreal, and I was focusing on African beauty brands in L'Oreal, and came back to Namibia. And yeah, I turned down a lot of jobs and just decided, you know what, it's about time that I actually start my own thing. And it was scary, but man, now looking back at it, I'm so happy I did it. I think there's clearly something about being in your own existence, your own calling, you know. And I think I sort of chickened out the early years of my life, but then it was time to do it. So yeah, that's what happened.
Oh my gosh, I love this. And I think this is like so inspiring to so many people who are so caught up working in the system, working for these big brands, working for these big companies, you know, and they think that's the path, they think that's the route. But really, you're sitting here being like, I can't express my creativity in the way that I want to. So how do I branch out? How do I expand and make sure that I can, you know, explore my own interests, explore my own passions on my own terms?
Yeah.
That's really a special like, you know, motivation for us out here.
Yeah, no, I think it's super important. I think there's one kind of quote or like kind of advice that I give people that I recently gave someone. I was like, we're put on this earth to be one thing, right? And that's ourselves. So don't leave Earth without being that one thing, right? Like, I think we get dragged along the way and into so many different areas and getting pulled to so many different conversations and job positions and everything. But if it doesn't feel like it's genuinely you, then you're not doing the one thing that you're called to do. So no matter what industry you're in, I think make sure you don't leave Earth without being the one thing that you're called to do, which is be you, you know?
Wow. Okay, CJ, spitting bars on us here on the live tonight.
That's what I do.
I love it. Okay, and I'm just seeing, like, for some reason, I'm not seeing the chat feature. I think that's because I have like low power mode on. Can you see the chat feature?
Yeah, I can see the chat feature.
Oh, you can see the chat. Okay, I can't see the chat. Okay, yeah. So good.
I'll let you know if some questions pop up.
Living their best lives. That's awesome. That's great. And let me just put out a little shout out. You know, since CJ here is giving us all this deep life wisdom and advice, we will have a chance for you to ask CJ questions. Those of you who are tuning in here on Instagram Live right now, if you look at the bottom of your screen here, if you're on your phone, there's like a little thought bubble with a question mark in it. You can click on that and type in questions. Even if you sign off, the question will stay. So type some questions there for CJ, and we'll you know, I'll throw the questions to him so that you can ask him whatever you want, you know, whatever you'd like. Okay, amazing. So you were put on earth to do one thing, and that was be yourself. Okay, I love it. So I think, you know, in the spirit and vein of being yourself, one of the things that I find really interesting about you and what you do is that you are basically creating spaces, whether it's through tech or through music, you know, to actually make African-driven and African-funded solutions for the continent, right? Like, there's these big tech giants that do food delivery, you know, here in South Africa or in the US or all over the world. And you're sitting here being like, actually, no, I want a solution for my own country to serve my own country's needs and meet my own country's gaps. And that's pretty incredible. What does that mean to you, or why is that important to you?
Man, I think you got it spot on, because that's literally the entire conversation. I would say that would be what I specialize in my mission. And where it started, just to give you some context, where it started and how I actually ended up working for L'Oreal, right? So during my last year of university, we had to take part in this competition. It was almost like a tech innovation / marketing competition. And it's like the Super Bowl for marketing students, right? It's like the biggest thing. And so we're there, and we're actually I remember I was at a photo shoot, so I missed class that day. When I got back to campus, everyone chose their team already, and I was left with the two people that no one wanted.
We got internet issues on the continent every now and then.
You can still hear me, guys.
Oh, okay, you're back. Back?
Am I back? Okay, cool.
Yeah, you paused for a second, but
hear me fine? Solid? Okay, cool. All right, great. Sorry about that. So yeah, finally we got our team together. We're actually the only 3 black guys in the class put together on a team. And from the get-go, we knew one thing, right? We knew one thing, that no one in the class would be able to replicate a model like ours if we focused on ourselves, if we focused on creating something for Black male millennials. No one would be able to get the insight that we did. So that's exactly what we did. We created a solution for Black male millennials, and we presented it to the class, and we were the only ones to get above 90%. And then we came first in Africa for the competition and first in South Africa, and then they flew us to Paris. We presented our ideas to the L'Oreal executives over there, and they loved it. And where I saw the value of African solutions was there, because I'm sitting in a room full of executives of like from the biggest fashion brand in the world. I mean, like makeup brand and beauty brand in the world. But they didn't have unique African solutions. They didn't have the insight to cater to our markets, right? So that's when I realized that, man, African solutions are so valuable. That's where the gold is, especially for us, for me, right? So I spent all my time building solutions targeted towards Africa. When I was working at L'Oreal, I was working at African beauty brands. I was working on brands that were known around the world, and how we could bring them to Africa and make them relevant and make them shine, you know. And everything that I've done has been focused on launching products in the African market. So I think it's the holy grail. For me, it just makes sense, you know. It's the thing that I can relate to, and the thing that I have the most relevance and power to pull off. So yeah, you are spot on. It's all about creating solutions specifically for Africans, and Chommie Bites is part of that journey as well, you know. And that's why we created the first food delivery app in Namibia. We were thinking, why don't we have it here, you know, and who's gonna do it but us? So yeah, that's how we got there.
Yes. Who is gonna do it but us? We must just do things for ourselves, for our people, for the culture. If other people aren't gonna bring it in, we, you know, it's like that. What's that saying? People are like, oh, we don't just want a seat at the table. We can just make our own table, right?
Facts.
Exactly. Okay, so talk to us a little bit more about Chommie Bites, like this amazing food delivery app that is in Namibia. Like, talk to us a little bit more about, like, how was this received in the, you know, in the early days as you're starting, as you're coming up? Were people like really on board? Was there any pushback? Were there challenges, or was it like pretty smooth sailing?
Yeah, so Chommie is actually a result of a failed idea that we had. So when I was still in Johannesburg, we came up with this idea called Chommie, which is basically an app where, I don't know if you know about like TaskRabbit or one of those apps. So basically you can hire someone to do a freelance task for you, right? And we were targeting students. The idea was that you could hire Chommie to do something for you, deliver a package, pick something up, drop it off, help you move your furniture, whatever, right? So we spent about 6 months working on it, and no one came. When we launched, absolutely no one came. Not a single Chommie was hired. We had a lot of Chommies excited to get some money, and like it was a complete failure. But I learned one thing. I learned one important thing, and I was like, and this is also advice that I normally give to people. Like, people have their opinions, but the market decides what it wants, right? So during that period, it took us 6 months to launch the product. We should have launched something in the first month, even if it wasn't perfect, because that would have told us what the market wanted, you know? So we're building, you're constantly trying to think you want to build something perfect, but then by the time you launch, you're already too deep in and you have no idea what the market wants, you know? So came back to Namibia. And I remember I was working for, I was head of content for this marketing company. And every lunchtime, I had nowhere to actually see like what was food available, where I could order food or anything like that. So I was frustrated. And then I realized that the version that we built for the first Chommie could work for a food delivery type of service. So I got the idea for Chommie Bites. Took about 3 weeks to reshape the old app. And from launch, the first week, we already got orders. So what we did was we were smart. Instead of launching an app or a website first, we launched on Facebook Messenger. It was a Facebook Messenger bot, you know? So the idea was, and I think this is important, right? This is important. With the market, you have to understand where your customers are and in their journey regarding whether your technology or your process, right? So we knew that no one has ordered food online in Namibia before. It was something completely new, right? So we decided, okay, cool, how do we get into everyone's pockets without having them to download anything, right? And we looked at the App Store, and Facebook was the #2 downloaded app in the country. So we launched on Facebook Messenger, you know. So you would literally just go onto our Messenger page, send us a message, and then me on the back end would get the message, call the restaurant, pick up the food and drop it off. I was doing everything, right?
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, literally.
You were the original Chommie. It was you.
I was the original Chommie. I was the
my
original
gosh.
guy. And then from week one, we just kept going. We started with absolutely no funding, nothing. We worked completely on our profits to get to where we are. I recently secured funding from a Namibian who's currently based in LA. He's actually working for Disney. He's worked on some of the best movies there. So it's nice to see Namibians supporting Namibian companies. So we recently got some investment. So yeah, we're excited for the next few months.
Oh my gosh, this is so incredibly exciting. And again, like, this is why I like to ask my guests on NIKKI BANZ Live about the journey, because I think so often people who are in, you know, positions of success, or people who have some kind of fame or some kind of status, you know, people just think that happens overnight. And the reality is that you're hustling, you're grinding, you're working, there's setbacks.
Correct.
Like, things don't work the way you expect them to. And it's really important to see that, like, you know, people who are struggling now, or can't make ends meet right now, or can't figure it out, like, that time is coming, right? Just keep working hard, keep grinding, and you
100%.
Yeah, you'll figure out the market, and it'll be magic.
Correct. Completely agree.
Yes. Well, one of the things I really like that you just mentioned, CJ, is about, you know, Namibians supporting Namibian business, you know, no matter where they are in the world. And I think what's quite interesting is that, you know, like, for my audiences tuning in, maybe from the United States or from the European market, like, I bet a lot of people actually don't know anything about Namibia. Like, they don't know where is Namibia, like, what are the people like, what's the culture like, anything like that. And you are one of the few people, you know, who's really taking Namibia to the world. So I would love to hear, you know, like, in your own words, like, tell us about Namibia. What's the country like? I mean, I've been, so I have some thoughts, you know, I have some feelings, but I'd love to hear, like, you know, from your own perspective, born and bred, like, talk to us about this country that you're repping.
Man, honestly, I think Namibia is the diamond of Africa, to be honest. I think it's the golden nugget. I think it's beautiful. The people are friendly. It's a lot safer than a lot of the other places. I honestly just think it's the diamond, like the hidden gem in Africa that people need to experience. Heartfelt, people are excited to meet new people and always want to open, like, their arms and like let you just come in and enjoy it, you know. But if I had to say something that I think we need to sort of change and agree on as a country, is I don't think we have a clear direction as a country of where we want to go. I think Namibia is sort of in limbo, and we're still figuring out what exactly we want to be, whether we want to be a tourist-focused country or an agriculture-focused country or a logistics-focused country. I think once we define our niche and we focus on that, man, we'll be a powerhouse. I don't think we'll be able to be stopped. As soon as we just get together and pick something and focus on it, I'm excited. But yeah, if you want to come to Namibia, definitely come. Like, it's beautiful, very chilled. You won't have many problems. I think you'll just have a good time.
I love it. I mean, I'm ready to come back to Namibia.
You need to.
I've only
come
been
visit.
once. I only came once for a weekend, so I was only just in Windhoek, but I had a friend who was in Namibia for work for a couple months, and she was like, oh, just come spend a weekend with me. So I feel like I was mostly just partying on the top of the Hilton at that point.
Yeah.
That was basically the only thing I did during my trip to Namibia. Right? Like, there's so many more beautiful, amazing things, you know, Swakopmund and all these things. Like, I gotta
you need to come. You need to come properly. You need to come and check it out and see what's up.
Yeah, I'm gonna come hang. I'm gonna come visit you. Okay, just put that in your diary. It's coming soon.
Do that thing. Hit me up. We'll set it up.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, but you also obviously, you know, you represent Namibia, coming from Windhoek, but you know, you spent actually a lot of time in South Africa as well. Like I was saying before, we had a lot of mutual friends in Cape Town, a lot of mutual connections. So talk to us about your South African experience and what South Africa means to you.
Man, Cape Town is my second home, 100%.
Yeah.
I love Cape Town so much. I go there I try to go there at least 3-4 times a year since I've been back. I came back to Namibia February 2019. I was in Cape Town for 4 years, then Joburg for 1.5 years, then back to Namibia. So, but in between that, I've obviously been up and down. Spent some time in the UK as well, spent some time in the States. Yeah, South Africa actually, I guess it opened my mind a lot. I think it gave me a lot of perspective and showed me that people can actually do things in context of like actually creating an app. You know, I don't think if I was just a Namibian born without exposure, I don't think that I would think it would be possible for just like a regular guy like me to go out and say, you know what, let's create a piece of technology, let's put it out, let's make it happen. So I think exposure is important. So yeah, like South Africa was my exposure, and it really, really opened my eyes and also gave me a lot of good relationships. Met a lot of people. I'm one of those people that I'm in a room and I'm speaking to everyone. I can get along with everyone, so I make sure I'm connecting, and that's why they call me the Connect, right? Because I'll go somewhere and I can make a connection quite easily. So my connections in South Africa are very strong. I still think to some extent I'll probably stay in Cape Town. If I can do like a 6 months here, that would be great. So hopefully launch a version of Chommie in South Africa or something like that. That's the dream, you know.
Oh my gosh, incredible. We're ready. We're ready for that expansion plan. Those of
I'm
us here
through.
in Cape Town, we're ready to start, supporting Black-owned businesses and African-led solutions, especially here in Cape Town. So we are so ready for that.
Let's make it happen.
So is it in Cape Town where you casually launched your international modeling career? Like, can we talk about that? Like, I'm a tech entrepreneur, I'm a TEDx speaker, and then like model? Like, let's just talk about that.
So, Matt, it was a funny time. So when I was studying, literally before I went, I think I went in February, and in January I did one campaign here for a company called MTC, which is like the MTN or like Verizon, if whoever who has contacts. Yeah. Literally a small campaign. I had no idea. Like, I was thinking of being a model. Was just something I tried out. So done. Moved to Cape Town, and I'm at a party, and one of a scout for an agency just comes to me and is like, "Hey man, I think you should check out this agency. I think you would do well, right?" And I was dancing alone on the dance floor. I don't know why I was doing that. I wasn't like drunk or anything. I don't drink, but I was literally dancing alone on the dance floor. And the guy just said, "You know what? Come check out 20." Went to 20, and then yeah, it just started that way. But modeling, and I make it clear, modeling was my side hustle during university.
Okay.
But I think it picked up some momentum, and people thought I was literally just out in Cape Town, not studying, just modeling, living my best life. Every time I come back to Namibia, everyone's like, "Yo, bro, Cj, how's the modeling? How's the modeling?" And I'm like, for me, it felt like, yo, I'm working on other stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm studying, I got this going on, and I'm really focused like business and marketing minded. So that's what I thought was the value, you know. But everyone was just like, "Nah, bro, where the modeling pictures at?" You know?
Yeah.
Bring that stuff. So technically, I haven't modeled properly in like 2 years. Since I've brought back, I've been turning down shoots and stuff like that, to be honest.
Ooh, look at you.
Yeah, no, not in the sense of like I'm too good for it now. It was fun, you know, but I don't think it aligns with what I want to be right now. You know, I want to be my own brand. Yes. So the stuff that I do with brands and all that kind of sense, I do it as CJ the Connect, not just as a model representing a brand. You know, so I do it as me, and I think that's important. So yeah, that's where I'm at right now. But it was fun. It was fun, man. I got to travel. I went to New York, went to London.
Wow.
All these places for modeling. So it was quite cool.
Okay, I love that. And I think one of the things you're speaking to now is this like work-life balance that you have. You know, even if you're studying, even if you're working on your marketing or your entrepreneurship, you got these side hustles, you still have fun. And I mean, based on, your Instagram alone, you truly look like somebody who embodies the definition of work hard, play hard. So how are you able, you were mentioning earlier, you're best friends with some of the hottest rappers in Namibia. We see you at the different parties, at the different events. How do you have a work-life balance when you're someone who is, hustling and grinding as hard as you are to launch your business?
So the thing is, it's a hard question to answer, and I'm going to answer it quite left field. I don't think there's balance. I think you sort of have to figure it out, to be honest. For me, luckily, I really enjoy what I do, right? So this is like my hobby. When people ask, "What do you do for fun?" I'm literally in the office till like 8 o'clock, and that's what I do for fun. But the problem comes in is that you actually have to live a normal life. Like, you have to spend time with family, you have to spend time with friends. Otherwise, you get depressed. You can't do this at this level forever. So you almost have no choice but to include the things that are really important to you, which is like family, friends, actually being able to celebrate things and stuff like that. So for me, I'm not gonna talk about work-life balance because I generally think my life is 90% work. But
Okay.
I enjoyed so much. But now the hard part is figuring out the other part of life. What do I do when I'm out the office? That's what I'm trying to figure out now. How do I handle relationships? How do I maintain connections with friends? How do I make sure I'm eating well and staying healthy? That's the harder part of the commitment. Than doing the work. Doing the work for me comes easy. It's what I want to do when I wake up, so it's not, I don't have to convince myself. The other part is the parts that I have to sort of try and figure out. I hope that answers your question, by the way.
Yes, it does. And that's really interesting. And I think, again, that just kind of speaks to like the reality of what happens in somebody's life and their day-to-day and what they do versus what you see on the gram. Right? Because like there's so many of us, like you see one thing, you just see pictures, you see the snapshot here, you see the video here, but that's not really what people are doing in their day-to-day. We have no idea what folks are doing. What are some of the things that you do, not only just sort of in terms of maintaining relationships with friends or family, but like some of the things that you do to like de-stress or like relax? Like, are you into yoga? Are you into like fitness? Like, what are the things that you do that kind of like help center yourself and focus the mind?
So I'm a huge F1 fan, for one. So
okay.
I spend quite a bit of time doing stuff with F1, like watching the races and also digging deep. I'm a watch fanatic. I love watches. So
Ooh.
I spend like 3 hours watching, like nerding out on watches, But what I really do physically and stuff is I play basketball at least 2 times a week. I love basketball. So I used to play regional team. I was quite good until I got injured.
Okay.
I'm one of those guys. I'm one of those guys that like I would have gone pro until I got injured.
Oh my gosh. Okay, wait. So I'm a baller too. I played basketball my whole entire life. And competitive
Really?
high school basketball in the United States. So what position were you?
I was power forward.
Power forward. Okay,
yeah,
okay.
But I became more of a shooting guard now, though. Actually, I don't drive that much. I just stay just in the corner of the key and just pop those jump shots, just buckets, buckets.
Yes. Free throw line extended. Just money.
Exactly. What position did you play?
I was also a power forward,
okay.
and it was great. It was fantastic. But the higher up I went, the girls also got taller and taller. So I was like, okay.
I feel you.
I was like, I either need to transition to a shooting guard or I'm out. And then I also had an injury. Did you have an ACL injury or was it something else?
It was to do with my knee, but it wasn't an ACL. So I think I was literally playing such a sad story as well. Oh my god! Let's get sad. Right? So
okay. We're ready. Get the tissues ready, everybody.
I was playing regional team basketball. So basically, I was selected out of the whole region. I was selected as a starter. I was power forward at that time. So now the next day, the national team scouts were coming to come pick the national team for the under 21 competition, like South African competition, right? So then we're playing a match and I'm starting, everything's good, but then we're about 5 points down, and so we need to win this match because we just want to, obviously, like, it's a competition, you're trying to kill it, right? So man, the buzzer's about to go off, so I'm playing hard and I'm trying to get these buckets. So I'm about to go up for a layup and this guy runs into my knee with his knee, like right in the inside of my knee, like bang, I'm on the floor. We first thought it was something chilled, but then I couldn't walk after. Next day, I'm on crutches. National team scouts are there, and they're like, yo, we came to see you, bro. And I'm like, 6 months, I'm out. 6 months, I'm out. So that was my basketball career. My basketball career just pretty much ended. So now I just play socially. Yeah. I know, right? I would have played national team. I would have had national colors.
Right. Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, I'm not crying on the live, so I don't want to mess up my makeup. But I'm crying. My heart is crying for you, CJ.
I was sad. I was genuinely sad. Like, I was watching the team play, We did well. Everyone that I was playing with basically made it to national team. And I think they did it right. Like, at least I was supporting the team, but I was sad, man. All I wanted to do was play national team. But it's chill. It happens, right? It'd be like that.
Wow, okay. This is so interesting. I had no idea that you were a hooper. Wow,
Hey.
what a story. I mean, honestly, my own story with how basketball ended in my career was a little bit similar. You know, it was like,
Really?
for me, it was the Southern California Division I Girls Championship. I'm in my third year of high school.
Yeah.
And so we're playing for the championship. If we win that, then we go on to state. You know, the state championship. And this is the state of California, right? This is like one of the biggest states in the United States, and it's competitive, and you know, and yeah. So anyway, so it's literally practice the day before the big match. It's practice before, and we're doing these layup drills. And so it's like so you go up for the layup, and our coach is hitting us with rugby mats. Like they're hitting us with rugby mats as like.
So you can take the contact, right? So you can take the contact.
You can take the contact, exactly. So when girls are hitting you or they're bumping into you, so it's like so each girl has to go 3 times and do the layup, and you know obviously you're supposed to make the layup. So I go up first time, cool, make it, get hit, make it. Second time, cool, go up, get hit, make it. Third time, time, as I'm in the air, I get hit with the mat, and the way my leg, like the way my foot hits the ground. Imagine everybody, my knee is like this, my leg is like this, and just goes. Like, man. It just like, and then I'm just like in a puddle on the floor, crying. I can't feel